Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. A season that started with such promise at the Coliseum ended with disappointment in San Jose. Julia Lopez joins us now to recap 2019 for the Bulldog football team.
All right, thanks so much, Andrew. Yeah, we got to go all the way back to August 31st for Game 1 as the Bulldogs traveled to the LA Coliseum to visit the USC Trojans. So let's start there. In its season opener, Fresno State was trailing by 18 points with under 17 minutes to play, but the Dogs were able to score twice in the fourth to make it a game. Jorge Reyna finished with 344 total yards, a pair of touchdowns, including this to Chris Coleman to make it an 8-point game. And with under 2 to play, Fresno State on the Trojans 15. But Reyna gets picked off as the Bulldogs come up short 31-23. Week 2 was oddly similar as the Bulldogs faced Big Ten opponent Minnesota in their home opener. Except this time, the Dogs were up a touchdown late in the fourth. With about 3 minutes to play, Reyna runs it in from 2 yards out for Fresno State to take a 28-21 lead with 46 seconds to go. Fresno State needing to stop the Golden Gophers on 4th and 13, but Tanner Morgan finds Chris Ottman-Bell in the back of the end zone, gets a foot in, and after the PAT, it's a tied ball game. This game would be decided in double overtime. Minnesota kicks a field goal to go up 3, so Fresno State needing a field goal to tie, a touchdown to win. Reyna gets intercepted by Antoine Winfield Jr., the same guy who picked off the Bulldogs in the end zone last year. Fresno State falls 38-35 in a heartbreaker. They were able to bounce back against Sacramento State. Fresno State put up 471 yards of total offense. Josh Hokett had a monster game, scoring 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Fresno State's run D held the Hornets to just 12 yards on the ground as the Dogs get their first win on the season, 34-20. The 1-2 Bulldogs visited New Mexico State, and this was Jalen Proper's coming out game. The true freshman who played at Sanger and Buchanan led the team in all-purpose yards with 132. He ran for $118, including one 79-yard score in the second quarter that showed off his speed. Fresno State's defense also put on a show with 3 interceptions. 2 of those came from Waylon Free, the sophomore DB, who recorded a 91-yard pick six. Fresno State wins 30-17 and wraps up its non-conference schedule 2-2. To Colorado Springs as the Bulldogs open up Mountain West play against a tough and experienced Air Force squad. Fresno State was up by 2 at halftime. Reyna was 17 of 18 passing at the break, finding Darion Grimm and Emorie Edwards in the end zone, but they were held scoreless in the second half. The Falcons' triple option was just too much. Air Force ran the ball 69 times for 340 yards and owned the clock. Air Force held the ball for over 39 minutes as the Falcons run away with it 43-24. Fresno State flipped the switch at home against UNLV. The Dogs' ground game ran for 260 yards with 6 touchdowns against the Rebels, 3 from Hokett, 2 from Rivers, and 1 from Reyna. Fresno State rolled past UNLV 56-27 and improved to 3-3 on the year. In Game 7 against Colorado State, the Rams got out to an early 14-0 lead in the first quarter, but the Dogs were able to answer back and eventually go on top in the third thanks to a 7-yard touchdown run by Ronnie Rivers. The junior had 215 all-purpose yards, including 146 rushing. Rivers and Hokett had 2 touchdowns each. But Colorado State scored the final 10 points to ruin homecoming as Fresno State falls 41-31. Fresno State looked to bounce back with their longest road trip of the season, visiting Hawaii on the island. A game that featured a back-and-forth battle, both teams leading by double digits. Reyna threw for 188 yards with 96 on the ground. Rivers recorded his second straight 100-yard rushing game, while Cropper totaled 159 yards, which included 61 rushing, 62 receiving, and a 36-yard passing touchdown. But this game would be decided by a field goal attempt. Enter Cesar Silva, who already missed 2 earlier in the game.
Snap good, hold down, kick on its way, plenty of leg. The kick is good!
Dogs walk it off, winning 41-38 and improved to 4-4 on the year. Fresno State returned home to host the Utah State Aggies, and for the second straight week, a game was decided by a field goal. But the Dogs were on the other end of it this time. They were up 35-31 in the fourth after a 10-yard score by Cropper, but Fresno State couldn't stop the Aggies' offense, giving up 500 yards or more in the third straight week. Utah State made a 30-yard field goal as time expired. Dogs fall 37-35. Fresno State hit the road to face San Diego State, a game with a lot of meaning. With 3 games remaining on the schedule, the Dogs needed to win out to get a spot in the Mountain West Championship game and to defend their title. It was a low-scoring affair. Rivers found the end zone first to put the Dogs up 7-0, but they couldn't get the offense going, held to a season-low 206 total yards, while the Aztecs used an air attack, something that we're not used to seeing. They put up 323 passing yards and held the Dogs to 1 touchdown as San Diego State wins 17-7. With the Mountain West title out of the picture, the Dogs were still able to become bowl eligible if they win their final 2 games. They need to get past Nevada on Senior Day, and once again, the Dogs found themselves trailing by 14, but they quickly turned it around, scoring 4 touchdowns. Reyna found Darion Grimm in the third to give Fresno State a 28-14 lead, but the Wolfpack scored 21 unanswered points, capped off by a Toa Taua rushing touchdown with 12 seconds left on the clock. The Dogs fall 35-28, and their hopes of going bowling disappear as they sit at 4-7. Fresno State trying to snap a 3-game skid and finish the season on a high note against San Jose State. Both teams entered 4-7 on the year, both battling for the Valley Trophy, both battling for some pride. Rivers once again went off. He racked up 275 all-purpose yards, including a touchdown in the first quarter to put the Dogs up 14. That would be the last time they found the end zone, though, as the Spartans scored the final 14 points with a go-ahead touchdown on 1st and goal. Dogs fall in another heartbreaker to end the season 17-16 and finish the year 4-8. All right, so here are some notes as the 2019 season ends for the Bulldogs. They lose their last 4 games of the season. They also lost quite a few players to injury this year. That forced them to use 10 different starting combos on the offensive line in 12 games. Senior Jared Rice will lead the program as the all-time leader in catches and receiving yards by a tight end. Junior Ronnie Rivers has another year left, and he'll also go into his senior year tied for 7th on the Bulldogs' all-time list in career rushing touchdowns. He's tied with his dad, as Scott mentioned, Ron Rivers. They both have 28, and we told you about Rivers earlier. He has 7 100-yard rushing games in his career for this season, including last night.
You know he wants a touchdown on his first touch of the 2020 season, right? Because for the entire offseason, his dad can say, I'm as good as you are. And Ron Rivers was a terrific running back in Fresno State's history. Ronnie Rivers, slightly better, I think. You agree?
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to cause a fight. So
I love it. Politically correct. Thanks very much, Julia.